Hello and welcome. This is episode 31 of Escape the J Curve, and I am your host, Rohan Nag. Today onwards, I'm thinking about kicking off a new series. In my experience over the last 10 years or so, I have realized that success is quite counterintuitive. And it's not at all what mainstream media or self-help gurus want you to believe. It's nothing like it at all. What do mainstream media and self-help gurus teach us these days? They teach us, oh, you are so special, you can do anything that you want. You just have to find your passion. You just have to change your mindset. You just have to think positively. And there you go. Success is all yours and the world's your oyster. If you change your mindset, you have the talent, you're special, and you're just going to go out there and crush it. But does that work like that in reality? In my experience, it doesn't. And it took me a lot of time and a lot of painful experiences to figure that out. Maybe people are just flat out lying, or people have your best interest at heart and they don't want you to, disappoint you, saying that maybe you will not be as successful as somebody else. But I think it's my duty to present what I've found in my experience over the last few years trying to be successful, trying to be entrepreneurial, trying to build a business, and a lot of other life experiences that have taught me so many things. Let's start off with this one. Are we inherently special? Are we all destined for huge success? Let's unpack this a little bit. And let's look at a research that was done by a few psychologists in 1998. Let's look at Claudia Mueller and Carol Dweck's experiment in 1998. What they did is they took a bunch of students in schools and they divided them into two groups. And one group was praised for their intelligence for a long period of time, and the other group was praised for their hard work for the same period of time. And towards the end of the semester, they gave the two groups similar set of exercises to finish. And what they found was very, very interesting. So people who were praised for their intelligence, they were less likely to complete the more difficult tasks. They were less likely to find enjoyment in those tasks. They were less likely to persevere, and they were less likely to produce good results. Well, on the other hand, the group of students that were praised for their hard work, their results are completely different. These bunch of students were more likely to enjoy their tasks. They put in more effort. They put in more perseverance, and their test results were much better than the other group. And the theory that the psychologists put forward for this is people who were praised for a personality trait like hard work, it's tangible and you can actually change it. So you can put in more hard work. So if you're receiving validation for hard work, you are more likely to put in hard work. You are not likely to give up. You are actually likely to think through the problems. But people who are being praised for intelligence, and people have this idea that intelligence is more or less fixed and it cannot be changed. Now, how do they look at the tasks? They think if they pick a difficult task and they fail at it, it would mean that they're not as intelligent as people call them out to be. So as a case, They did not want to work hard at difficult problems just to preserve their self-image. Researchers named this as growth mindset. So the people who believed that putting in more work could mean that they could actually solve difficult problems, and they believed it to be a growth mindset. So, let me tell you another story. This is a very personal story, and it might seem really, really silly to you, but I think it's very important and very relevant, and it will make the point very clearly. I was in a 7-year relationship in my early 20s. So my early 20s to late 20s, I was in a relationship with the same woman. And we were not in good terms after the first few years. We broke up a lot. We used to fight a lot. We used to biker a lot. It was really problematic, and we would fight a lot, and we would break up once, and maybe a couple of months later we'll get back together. Our problems wouldn't go away overnight. We would fight more. It would become really bad, and we will break up again. And this vicious circle continued over and over again for a period of 7 years. And then finally I decided I have had enough, and I just let go. I came out of the relationship, and I wanted to analyze why this was happening to me. And I realized I did not have anything of value to offer to the other person. I am not the person she's looking for. There are certain things that she's looking for, and I am not going to provide it. And the things that I was offering her wasn't that special at all. Like any person in her social circle would be able to provide her with all those things, the emotions, the gifts, and everything else. That sort of destroyed me. I've been told that, oh my God, you are so special. And we have all had this phase. I think there are people in our lives, maybe our parents, our moms, maybe very close friends, who keep telling us that we are so special. But I had a huge epiphany around that time, around my late 20s, that, oh my God, I am not that special after all. The value that I bring to other people, value that I bring to society, value that I bring to my partner, it's not that special or unique. Anybody could be doing it. That really woke me up that day. So I decided, and it was probably quite late. I was in my late 20s. And it was a wake-up call, and I realized, oh my God, I am not offering enough value to other people. And that woke me up, so that I took a lot more things seriously. I took my fashion sense seriously. I took the way I communicate seriously. I took my skills very seriously, and I decided that this is the day when I decide to make a change, and I want to be a valuable person for society and for my future partners. And I've seen this a lot as well. People who do not have a lot of skills or a lot of value to offer, they try to overcome it by being extra nice. They smile a lot. They have a fake personality. They keep their own thoughts and opinions very secret and very hidden. Their motivations are not known. All they do is compliment people, put up a fake front, and smile a lot, just to get along with people, just to make sure that they get the respect that they want from other people without having to build that value within themselves. If you are a valuable person, people will flock to you. There's no doubt about that. If you have some value to provide to other people, other people will come to you, they will respect you. Maybe in some cases will try to exploit you as well, but it is important to be of value. And so I think it was quite late in my life to realize that I wasn't special. I'm only valuable to society and the world at large in direct proportion to the value I bring to them. It was quite late and quite painful, and I had to go through a painful process to realize that. But I think it was a very important step in my life that changed my thinking completely. That also changed the way I approach my work. I just do not go about producing something which other people would not value. Every time I produce something, I look for what people want, not what I want to produce, and then go about solving the problem at hand. I want to know what people care about, what they want from me, and I sort of streamline my experiences based on that. It's also true on my entrepreneurship journey. I put in more effort now. Instead of building something that I would consume or I would like, what I do is I figure out what people are looking for. How can I add value to them? Are people willing to pay money to buy something that I'm selling? It's very, very important. This sort of mindset that I am special and I am entitled to certain success, it's great for my ego that I am already there where I want to be. I'm already successful. It's great for the ego. It's great to feel good about yourself, but it's not the actual truth. And everybody who believes this would have a rude awakening at some point in their lives. Maybe they'll learn the lesson that they are not the center of the universe. Maybe they'll not. Maybe they'll carry on their way, the way they are, and there would be bigger and bigger calamities waiting for them. I am glad that I got to learn the lesson that I am not special and I need to be valuable and I need to constantly build my skills. I have to provide something for other people. I have to build something for other people that they can use or it's valuable to them. And it's a constant learning process. I am open to feedback. It's very, very important to realize this. I realized this quite late in my life, but I'm so glad that I did. So let's take another example. Let's take people who are so-called influencers on Instagram. People who are beautiful, they're very, very good looking, and they post selfies on Instagram and they have thousands, if not millions of followers online. They get validation every day that they are so beautiful, they are so special, they are so good, they are so pretty, and people value them a lot. But they haven't learned one real life skill at all apart from taking and posting selfies. And imagine this. Imagine if Instagram decides to close down its platform overnight, which could happen. A couple of bad quarters with low cash flows, and Instagram might be, well, we're burning more cash than we're making. Let's close it down. What is going to happen to these people who are posting selfies on Instagram? Do they have any real world skills, or are they being lied to by their audience who are constantly validating them, saying you are beautiful, you are perfect, you are special, you're good looking? What's going to happen then? Something to think about, isn't it? Let's look at another example, and this sort of blew me away. Towards the beginning of this year, Kobe Bryant passed away. He was in a helicopter accident. There were 7 to 8 other people in the accident, and all of them passed away. including Kobe Bryant's children. But who did the media talk about? Did they talk about the other 7 people in the helicopter? No. Did they talk about the person who was flying the helicopter? No. They talked about Kobe Bryant only, and how it's a huge loss for humanity and sports and basketball that Kobe Bryant passed away. Nobody talked about the other people that were there in the helicopter. And that sort of summarizes human psychology. People only care about other people who have added value to their lives. They don't care about anybody else, only about people who have brought value to their lives. So Kobe Bryant was a huge basketball star and everybody enjoyed watching him play. He was one of the greatest sports entertainers of all time, probably the greatest basketball player ever. And a lot of people derived a lot of enjoyment, a lot of entertainment, and a lot of value from watching Kobe play. And that's why they remember him. That's why they think he's special. And that's why they do not care about the other 7 people who died, who lost their lives in the same helicopter crash. So it took me half of my life, more than half of my life, I would say, to figure this out. That there is nothing inherently special about me, but I can change, grow, build value, provide something of value for other people, and that might make me special someday in the future. That makes me want to work hard. That makes me want to learn. That makes me want to create. That makes me want to not give up, not take anything for granted. Everything that I receive in my life is my responsibility, and I have to work towards them. I am not entitled to anything. I am not special. Everything that I want, I have to work towards. But if I put in my dues, if I pay my dues and I put in the work and I sharpen my skills, provide more value to people, I do have the potential to become special. There was one of the biggest epiphanies I had, one of the lies that is told in mainstream media and other self-help gurus. And I hope that this episode changes your thinking a little bit of how you perceive the world. It has helped me immensely. And I hope that you got value from this episode. Just think about what I said in the episode. And I have taken a long time to analyze this and put these thoughts on paper. Just give it a thought. Think about what I just said. And if you agree with me and if you see the clues, the evidence of what I'm saying is true in your lives as well, things change. People take you more seriously, or they respect you more when you achieve things or you do things that are valuable to other people. Then think about what I just said in the episode and think about how you are going to structure your life, your thinking, and your future around this fact. You are not special. You are as special as the value you bring to society. Thanks a lot for listening in. I know it was very long and highly controversial and me ranting for a long time. But I am going to continue this series. Probably there are going to be 10 or 15 more things where I talk about what mainstream media or what you have known about or the intuitive things that you learned or that you know are incorrect, and why you have to shed those false beliefs if you want to do something impactful. I'm not saying I have done something impactful. I'm not saying I'm the most successful person in the world, but I have had a journey and I'm very grateful for that. And I've learned certain things which are not told or talked about in other channels or media. And I want to touch upon those. Maybe somebody would listen to it. Maybe somebody will get value from it and will change their thinking and their lifestyle a little bit. Maybe it will help someone do that. That's why I make these episodes, to share my experiences, to share other people's experiences of how they have handled a difficult situation, of how they have overcome a difficult situation, and the things that they have learned along the way which are not commonly taught or talked about. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll come back to you tomorrow with another episode. I hope you have a good day. Talk to you soon.